The views, takes and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes and opinions of the Bunk Collective and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle everyone. Welcome to the main event, Mark.
Yo, check. Welcome to the official wrestling podcast of the Bog Collective. This is the main event Mark podcast. I'm doing mistakes all day. So, ayan. Ayan, welcome to the main event Mark podcast. Again, my name is Sergio Penera here on today's episode. Of course, as advertised, we are gonna talk about AEW Dynamite's ratings. Yun yung in-advertise natin for the last few hours. Pero that might change anytime soon, no? So, yeah, marami tayong ita-tackle on this very episode. So, hindi ko na nga ninumberan tong episode na to, but this is a main event live, of course, because I'm going to release 2 episodes later. For this podcast then. So, abangan nyo yan. And you keep an eye on our social media platforms for a special announcement that we're going to have next week. So, again, if you missed it, we're going to have a special announcement next week here on the podcast. And also on all of the social media platforms of the main event, Mark. You have to keep an eye on that. There's a podcast announcement that might shake everyone's heads, and also an important announcement as well here on the main event that we're going to address. I'm going to save it next week as well. But for the meantime here, let's do some plugs first. Tagay na is coming in the couple of weeks from now. Tagay na hindi naman nagpapapap sa screen ko. I don't know why. Yun. So, World Underground Wrestling goes Tagay na the next couple of days from now. So, it's July 7. So, they're going to have the show. It will take place at Brawl Pit Bulusan at 6 p.m. They have this stack card. We're going to discuss that next week. TZK versus High Proof is the main event for the World Underground Wrestling Tag Team titles. Fabio Makisig versus Isaiah Valencia also advertised for the show, and many, many more. It's going to be a banger of an event just to make sure everyone is going to get a beer next week as well on that event. And I can assure you everyone gets their shot. Sana lang hindi kayo mag-relapse. Sana hindi kayo mag-relapse dyan sa gilid. And yeah, so Tagay na will take place July 7 at Brawl Pit Bulusan, 6 p.m. Of course, FPW announced as well that they're going to have a special announcement for their tapings on July 14 naman sa Bake Studios sa Yakal, Makati City. Tickets are still available as we are speaking right now. And yeah, I hope everyone can enjoy these shows going forward. And speaking of enjoy, yeah, sorry guys. Pero yun, ulitin lang natin sa mga bagong pasok. We are going to have a special announcement next week on our social media platforms and also on our podcast as well. We're going to do some announcements next week, and that's a very important announcement that we have to make here on the main event. And it's very important to emphasize things here on this show. And I hope that hindi kayo mawala dun sa special announcement. And I hope everyone is gonna fine right now. I hope everyone is enjoying the last episode of the PWPH podcast. Again, you can listen to that on all of the social media platforms ng PWPH. And also you can listen to that as well on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube right now, youtube.com/memrusticpod. And also on Spotify, wherever you're listening to your favorite podcast right now, especially main event part. So, we're going to tackle a few things here on this live broadcast. And ulitin lang natin, baka may makalimot na naman, bakit ako makalimot din. Next week, we're going to make an important announcement regarding on, basta malalaman nyo na lang. Hindi na ako magre-reveal ng kahit anong shit dito. Basta, we're going to make that announcement next week here on the main event mark. Sorry guys, talaga. Sinabi ko sa pre-show that I am not that fine. We just have to execute the breaking development that we are dealing with right now. And yeah, everyone will be fine anytime soon. But for the meantime, let's talk about wrestling. So, on this week's SmackDown, we have Jacob Fatu finally debuting, allying himself with the Bloodline. So, it's going to be a 4-on-4 possibly soon. So, it's Solo Sikoa now leading the charge, then the Tongas now taking over the sa Usos role. So, the Usos role is now being held by Tama Tonga and the former member then ng Geo team. And now, we have Jacob Fatu that we are expecting or nabalita ito that he is going to join Roman side of this Bloodline storyline. But it's not. We have him attacking Cody and then parang inalay na lang siya kay Solo. Then is this the build up na papuntang SummerSlam? We will find out in the next couple of episodes of SmackDown from now. For context as well, we will discuss the Money in the Bank qualifying matches so far. Yun, let's talk about the women first. So Chelsea Green just made into the match. She defeated both Bianca Belair. Wow. Very impressive if you're going to ask me. And Mention ba? I'm not sure. Pero yun, that was a really good match. Chelsea is going to be the ally here, definitely. I don't see Io Sky winning either way. But I think Chelsea is going to be the ally here. I can assure that. Medyo ally talaga ang role niya dito. Then next week on SmackDown, we're going to have some qualifying matches. First is this match. So we have another three-way matches. Candice LeRae, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton. We're going to find out who will be fill the gap on that match as well. And then a few matches as well. Naomi, Blair Davenport, and Indy Hartwell. And also the three-way for the men to finalize their side on SmackDown. LA Knight, Logan Paul, and Santos Escobar is going to fill the gap as well on the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Also to address, of course, di natin pwedeng kalimutan to. So, earlier, we just got Santos Escobar. Yan nga, sinabi ko na ito kanina. And Logan Paul is beating the living hell of LA Knight earlier. So that's good on him. Sorry. And Andrade qualified himself into the Money in the Bank ladder match earlier. So the updated lineup here, Carmelo Hayes, Jey Uso, and Andrade. I cannot wait to see Andrade winning this match. But definitely, this is a Jey Uso match. This is what I can assure, guys. Okay, let's continue. CM Punk returned in his hometown of Chicago, and then during the commercial break, Drew McIntyre defeating or beating the living hell of CM Punk in his hometown. It's more than a revenge. Earlier this week, Drew announced that he will quit WWE because of what happened at Clash at the Castle. We will talk about Clash at the Castle on the next episode of MEM. So yeah, please keep an eye on that. And yeah, this is definitely elevating the storyline now for Drew and Punk. And I admit this is definitely the best storyline in WWE right now. No one can say otherwise because they're doing a really good job on building the story really well. And also to address Solo and the Bloodline, going back with this template, I think this is definitely one of the best things that WWE was able to execute for a while. And yes, it was executed because of rumors, but fuck rumors. We have this debut. Don't ruin it. And this definitely one of the best debuts in the recent history of the Triple H era. And to prove as well that this is going to be the A show now, it's very prominent as well that they have to do changes like this. And it really shows. But I cannot wait to see more of this. I cannot wait to see more of that in the next couple of weeks. And I'm not expecting that Solo versus Roman is going to take place at a time soon. But we will find out. Blood. Bad blood. Not official yet. But malay nyo, magka-bad blood niya. Yun. So, that's our bits for SmackDown for now. We will talk about more of SmackDown later. Kasi, mamaya marami pa tayong pag-uusapan. Sabihin ko nga sa inyo. And then, we will talk about the Bloodline. Ito masasabi ko, so far. Bloodline ni Solo is very strong. I can say that. I can say this confidently, no? This Solo Sikoa's Bloodline is definitely one of the best stables that was ever created in WWE. Yes, people might say na, ay, di naman namin yung kilala. Parang it's more on presenting agad, parang putyo-putyo lang yung presentation. Di naman niya kagaya ng kabilang promotion na, ay, ko na alam. Pero yun, mamaya we will stick our half of that in a moment. Pero regardless, this presentation of the Bloodline really shows that we don't care about the popularity anymore. It's more on how we can tell the storylines talaga, no? Wala na tayong pakialam kung sino yung popular, sino yung pinakamatika, sino yung pinaka-importante. It really seeks now is the one who is on the top or the ones who is dominating the game. And it shows really well that Solo Sikoa is the man right now and he is indestructible. No? He is not the one who is going to take the WWE title on Cody, sure, but he is going to be the one who will destroy the living hell of Roman Reigns once he comes back. And specifically, for sure, this Bloodline is going to be allied with The Rock. So to set their main event at WrestleMania next year. Also, singit na rin natin habang andito pa tayo sa part na to ng show kasi konti na lang pag-uusapan natin mamaya. AEW or WWE is possibly done deal na with Indianapolis and they're going to have a multiple event deal possibly na magkaroon ng WrestleMania sa Lucas Oil Stadium. And then, possible din na magkaroon ng Royal Rumble that it will take place on February 1, 2025. And yung Indianapolis is a candidate na rin for WrestleMania or SummerSlam na 2025 or maybe 2026. I think 2026 is set na for Minnesota and then 2 nights na yon. And paano pa tong SummerSlam na we're going to find out or to witness? But we will find out more of that once things are made official. But for the meantime here, we're going to tackle more WWE on our audio-only episodes. So keep an eye on that. And for the meantime, we're going to take a short break here. And then when we come back, let's do some attention to detail that we are going to address the era of AEW that's been declining. And yes, I have rights here. May nagsulat ako dito. So it shows that I took notes on that we're going to talk about today. And attention to detail, i-upload ko siya ng bukod siguro. Ay, hindi ko na kasi ma-retrieve yung account sa podcast. But we are going to address the happenings right now in AEW. We have to dig dive on that. And we're going to dig dive as well on what the hell AEW is doing right now before we execute our think about that. Pero for the meantime, let's take our short break here. I hope everyone will be fine. I hope you guys are preparing for this attention to detail. We will take a short break. Let's check our kabunkmates on Bunk Collective.
Annyeong, we are One to Sarang.
Your next favorite Hallyu podcast.
We talk K-drama.
Ang daming kilig every
Oh
time
my
we
God.
get drama.
We also talk K-pop.
Yung feeling ko sa 17 na they bring me so much happiness.
And we live to entertain.
What you gonna do when Dicky steak in front of
Check us out now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Also on YouTube. Join us sa Tawanan at Kwentuhan from One to Sarang.
Welcome back to the Main Event Mark podcast. Again, my name is Angelo Pinera here. We have here on front the official lineup for AEW Owen Cup 2024. And as of right now, the tournament is already in progress, so I'm not going to tell any results of that. But I am expecting that the finals, si Wildcard yung mananalo and Bryan Danielson is going to face that wild card in a finals match sa Calgary, Alberta. Jeff Jarrett is there, yes, because of his history with Owen Hart. So I don't really see a problem on that. Pero for sure, magiging ally siya doon sa wild card. So that's good to hear as well pa din that he is going to be part of the tournament pa din despite of this. And it's good to hear then that this current run ni Jeff Jarrett, in fairness naman, is getting himself back to the good days and the good times, no? And also the good side of things in history. It's good to hear. Pero yun, I think Wildcard is going to win the whole thing. I'm not going to say it's Will Ospreay. Pero nakikita na rin talaga natin that it's going to be a Will Ospreay win since the reward of this is a world title shot, and this is the only way he can get a world title shot if he loses to Swerve at Forbidden Door. And we can see now that Will Ospreay is losing this match. The lineup naman, I don't really see any problems with the lineup. Claudio is really a good guy. Danielson, I don't really see Danielson winning here. Pac. Shingo Takagi, it's very given, alay na siya dyan. The match will take place at Forbidden Door. Rey Fenix, Jay White, this is definitely a Jay White win. Then the wild card is winning the match ni Jeff Jarrett, that's for sure. Women's side of things. This is interesting because we don't have wild cards here. See if tama ba yung nagpo-pop up sa screen ko. Ayun. So let's talk about putang ina, women din pala yan. Men's din pala yan. Sorry guys. My mistake. Okay, so let's talk about the women here on our cup. Putang ina talaga, ay lumabas. Tama ba to? Ang ina. Ayun, I was looking for the woman bracket, but I think, yeah, mamaya na natin pag-usapan. I will have to find out that woman bracket first. Pero, bueno, I'm really proud of NXT right now. Joe Hendry is topping up the WWE right now by storm. And yes, he lost the match, but the popularity, everything is just beginning for him. And it's just a good thing to hear about pro wrestling coming together. And Joe Hendry is winning in life, definitely. And he is now the top viewed exposed in social media. And no one can top that so far. And I cannot wait to see more of that later on if the Forbidden Door continues. We will talk about NXT the next episode para mas tackle natin ng konti itong context natin for the match na nangyari nga doon sa Battle Royale, which is won by Jaban Evans. Jaban Evans, by the way, is really make me impressed lately on the television. That was a really good thing. And now, let's focus on TNA. TNA announced few things here. So number one, the main event of Slammiversary. It's a 6-way elimination match. Most obviously, the champion is automatically Phyllis Cap there. Josh Alexander just announced he was defeated Eric Young in a match to qualify to the title match at Slammiversary. Personally, I want to see this in a King of the Mountain match rather than a 6-way lang, no? Parang mas sabay-sabay, kahit magkaroon man ng sabay-sabay na problema dyan, it really proves that Moose is really on the top of his game, not beating in this type of match. No, to be fair, I'm not really against the idea of having a match bigger like this. Pero pero mas okay kasi na King of the Mountain, lalo't Moose is on his way to be on the top, and he really needs to top and to prove to the haters that he is definitely the best in the game. Also announced on TNA that we're going to have the qualifying matches for next week. So it's Nick Nemeth versus Rick Swan. It's going to be a banger. And also Steve Macklin and Sami Callihan. I cannot wait to see more of the qualifying matches in the next couple of weeks on TNA Impact. For the meantime, we just have to find out the women bracket for the Owen Cup. Looks like hindi ko pa din makita. I'm still fucked up. Puro men's na, puro men's. Wait. Tingnan natin. Oh, good grief. Wala pa din talaga. So, ayun, putang ina. Looks like I'm fucked up here. Pero yun, we will talk about that in a moment. But for the meantime here, let's talk about the update ni Adam Pearce. He released this announcement during SmackDown, and he announced that Chad Gable is now medically cleared, and he's going to return on the match that he was originally removed, and he's no longer replacing. It's no longer to be replaced by the guy Ilya Dragunov. And yeah, definitely a must-watch pa din, regardless on what will happen. And I cannot wait to see more of that in a couple of weeks. Owen Cup. Yun ang nakakalimutan ko lagi. Yun ang lagi kong mistake na hindi ako nagko-kompleto. No? So, yan. Nag-impromptu ako ngayon. So, pasensya na. I have to look for the bracket. So, speaking of bracket, Willow Nightingale is advancing to the women's bracket of the Women's Owen Cup. So, that's a interesting development for the Women's Owen Cup. And I have to look for the women's lineup. I'm really sucked up here. Ayun, let's talk about the women's side. So, mabilis na lang to. Willow Nightingale, ayan. Willow Nightingale just qualified over Serena Deeb. On her bracket 2, there's Nyla Rose and Chris Statlander. The winner of that will face Willow. So, it's obviously a Chris Statlander match. Then, on the other side, we have Diona Purrazzo and Hikaru Shida. And then Mariah May and Saraya. So I think Diona is winning that match and Mariah May is winning the other. So Mariah May might win the Women's Owen Cup for the women's side of things. So yun lang yung sa akin. So tagal kong hinanap, yun lang din pala yung lineup. So I'm kinda disappointed about it. Pero for the meantime, yung ating WWE talk, yung Raw talk, yung kay Uncle Howdy, we will talk about that in the next episode of the main event part. Hindi natin matatakal yun dito sa episode na to. So, we will skip that for now. We will talk about that in a dedicated episode later. But for the meantime, we're going to take a short break here and let's check our kabunkmates on Bunk Collective.
Sales, profit, and engagement na naman ang usapan. Hey guys, Matt and Lance here. Corporate guys rin kami at pagod na rin kami sa ganyang usapang office. Ibahin naman natin ang mga kausap natin. Listen to guests from careers beyond the corporate scene with the Project Offbeat Career Podcast. Imagine talking to historians, gamers, teachers, and the like on how they live differently and succeed in their unconventional careers. Baka sakali, ito naman ang sign to pursue your passions. Kita-kits sa Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube.
Hi, welcome back to the Main Event Mark Podcast. Again, my name is Angelo Pereira here. Thank you very much again for listening on this episode of the podcast. Before we move on to our attention to detail about the failed ratings of AEW Dynamite this week, we will tackle longer about that in a moment. But yeah, keep in mind that everything that we're going to discuss here is detailed and it's more on subjective on how you will prefer the product and it should be. Depends on what you prefer talaga. So, preference yun naman din in the end of the day kung ano yung promotion na papanoorin nyo. But keep in mind that ratings matters, no? Ratings matters specifically for the broadcasters, especially in this case, Turner Brothers o tsaka yung brothers, Warner Bros. Discovery. So that's a case that they have to deal with when it comes to this broadcast rights ni AEW. And it's very important then to acknowledge that everything must be fixed in AEW talaga. But it has to be done. So, AEW Dynamite just got their lowest rated episode in the history of the show. 502,000 viewers. And I am not lying when I say the reason being insisted of this bullshit, it's because hindi Big Bang Theory ang lead in to Dynamite. It's Black Panther, a movie. AW and its fandom are really make me sick lately when it comes to this shit. Bitch. Tangina Okada. But you have to think wisely on how you are going to move from this. And kung susumahin, lahat ng pinaggagawa ng AEW ngayon, there's always a consequence in everything. And there's always a reality that might slap everything to you. Eto, to the fact lang, ha? AEW just presented one of the best episodes in history. But I'm always saying here, kahit gumawa ka pa ng 100 ganyang episodes, it doesn't really matter if the ratings are still down. Kahit 100 pang banger ni MJF at ni Ross yan wala pa din. Di ba? It really shows how bad AEW Dynamite can be, and it really shows how bad Tony Khan can fall into that. AEW is on its lowest of the lowest right now. Again, I'm not saying this as an anti-AEW because it's a fact. AEW Dynamite ratings, it's on its lowest of the lowest. And everyone that's on their path is not happy with this. Even the AEW fansters are getting a hard time to find any excuses. So, kasabay nito yung concert ni Kendrick Lamar, which is not really relevant to this. Wala rin naman kasing sports event that's competing against AEW Dynamite. So, with that, parang medyo nalalabuan ako sa mga excuses na yan lately. And I feel bad for the wrestlers who is competing in this company. And lagi ko sinasabi, important ang ratings kasi dyan nalalaman kung ano ba ang sukatan ng networks if they should extend or they should address the ratings war situation, or if they're going to address a situation like this. And AEW just fumbled or nag-fall na sila into this something that they won't encounter again, or it might be lower anytime soon. Pero we have to think na AEW is really on its lowest of the lowest. To be fair, wrestling is still wrestling. Everything must be addressed. No? And to give solutions about this things that's going on right now in their company, ang daming excuses na lumalabas There might be, nauubusan na sila ng excuse at this point. And I feel bad for Okada. I feel bad for Ospreay. I feel bad for Mercedes Moné. I don't care if I don't like Mercedes, but yeah, it is what it is. Ratings matters. And these things that we are witnessing right now is reflecting on the current programming of AEW. Again, ulitin natin yung numbers 502,000. That's down 600 plus. Who will laugh on that? Seryoso. Sino matatawa dyan? Right? I don't want AEW to die. I swear to God, I don't want AEW to decease. Just like WCW. WCW fucked up themselves. That's for sure. The AEW is trying to duplicate the same. They want to fuck up just like WCW. Everyone is trying to tell Tony Khan, but Tony Khan seems like he doesn't want to listen at all, that he doesn't have to duplicate WCW or everything WCW is doing. Diba? It really shows how stupid Tony Khan can be, and it really shows how he can downplay or kung ano man ang pinaggagawa ni Tony Khan. Like what I am trying to say in the beginning, there's always a consequence in everything. Ang pagbaba ng ratings ng AEW Dynamite means something. It doesn't matter if anumang event na tutugma dyan sa Dynamite na yan. Hindi porket may kasabay kang event, yan na yung dahilan. No. It's just because of what in the blue hell AEW is doing. Bakit ang WWE may nakasabay din silang playoffs game? Hindi naman ganyan kalugmok ang ratings. Diba? It really just show that everyone is turning back on AEW and they want to watch the better show now, which is WWE. We just witnessed Jacob Fatu debuting on SmackDown, and that might be a factor too to everyone to watch their product rather than this bullshit. Everyone will not be surprised if everyone will turn back permanently on AEW. AEW just announced that they're going to have a streaming deal again with Trailer TV, with releasing its content, VOD content every year. That should be a big deal. But these happenings already killed the hype of that. Matutuwa na sana ako na may VOD ng mga pay-per-views ng AEW from the day it started, all in, until this one. This is just disappointing at best. Again, I'm not saying this as a biased personality, but I am trying to say this as a viewer of AEW. I watched AEW since the beginning, and to give you guys a fact that AEW is really declining on its best, it really shows how AEW can pay or kung gaano nga ba kasaklap itong mga nangyayari ngayon in AEW. Again, I don't want AEW to die like ever. But the signs is already there. Tony Khan is just executing the signs of dying. And it might be different this time, but I hope AEW can really do some good things para mas-resurrect naman nila itong mga pinaggagawa nila. Because there's not a good sign for AEW. There's not a good day to laugh at AEW. This is a good day to think what will be the future of AEW. And I'm not saying this again as a critic of AEW. This just really shows how AEW badly can play. And I feel bad for AEW because it really shows that AEW is just trying to be that. And I don't want AEW to die at all. Right? And yet, this is what we're getting. This is what we're getting. This embarrassment has to be it. Now, AEW has a lot of problems. Tony Khan is the biggest problem of them all. I understand that. But based on the standpoint, that should be fixed down the line and that should be fixed immediately. Paano nga ba ito i-fix? I'm going to give 3 things at least. Number 1, after Forbidden Door, they should start dropping this elite thing. No? Things are not working fine with the elite, except for Okada. Okada is fine, no, with this role. But the rest of the members, especially Jack asshole, Jack Perry, it doesn't work at them at all. Number 2, AEW should start focusing its product on Swerve Strickland and not Will Ospreay, not Okada, not Mercedes Moné. AEW should start focusing its product on Kazuchika Okada, Swerve Strickland, because he is the world champion of all champions that they have in AEW. They should start focusing on Swerve Strickland. Anyari kay Swerve ngayon? Top 3? This really give me some frustrations right there. But to put Swerve in a position like that, something that I don't like. WWE is putting Cody and its Raw counterpart Damian Priest on top because they know how to book these champions. They know how to book them. Hell, even Trick Williams getting a better booking than Trick or than Melo or whatever. Number 3, he is getting getting better booking than Swerve, by the way. Sorry about that. Number 3, AEW should start thinking about dropping Tony Khan as the booker of AEW. That might resolve everything. Wala namang problema sa kanya. Okay, he's a cool guy. Good. I can confirm that as well. That Tony Khan is a really good guy. But he's not a cool boss. He's not a toleratable boss. He's not this boss that can make numbers on the television, because he's not. And really tells on how he acts. Everything reflects here in pro wrestling. And it really shows how really bad Tony Khan can be. And I hope that will end anytime soon with something needs to be changed as well. Guys, let us know what you think on this development in AEW. And yeah, that will be it for now on today's episode of the Main Event Live. Again, you can catch other 2 episodes today on Spotify and the rest of the podcast platforms and on YouTube for our NXT Battleground review. It's Fallout and then Clash of the Castle. We're going to review that. Uncle Howdy, wala natin gawa ng dedicated episode. Let's see if we can. Pero yun muna ang aking episode sa ngayon. Again, next week, we're going to have a special announcement that might change the whole thing here. Sorry dito, guy, dahil kay Brody. Ayun, di yun dahil kay di yun dahil kay Uncle Howdy. Yan na naman tayo. Nawalan na naman ako ng ilaw sa aking background. But hindi yan dahil kay Brody. But yun, I'm back. So like what I said, ulitin lang natin yung mga episode natin. NXT Battleground review, we will talk about that dedicated episode. Clash of the Castle, we will do that the same. And then we will talk about Uncle Howdy's debut on Raw and also the Wyatt 6. Ay pag-usapan natin yan in audio only. We're going to release that later and tomorrow on all of the social media platforms of the Main Event Part. And also on Spotify and the rest of podcast platforms. Then, for the meantime, you can tune in on the Main Event Live every Saturdays, 10:30 a.m. on Facebook and on YouTube of the Main Event Live. You can also tune in on this audio pagkatapos ito sa Spotify and the rest of the podcast platforms, and you can find out as well our episodes every other day on Spotify and the rest of the podcast platforms. Again, you can support the Main Event Mark on all of the social media platforms at MEM Wrestling Pod. You can support the Bunk Collective on all of the social media platforms at MEM Wrestling Pod and also at the Bunk PH. You can support as well as on Patreon, patreon.com/MEM Wrestling Pod. Also, you can support the PWPH podcast. You can listen to our latest episode on Spotify and also on YouTube here on the Main Event Mark if you're listening to this on the Main Event Mark YouTube channel. And that will be it for now. Again, we're going to drop few episodes later to tackle more of that. Tinakil lang talaga natin dito sa live yung AEW problem. And we will tackle more on our audio-only episodes. For the meantime, stay safe and stay resto. See you on the next episode. Stay tuned for the announcements. Goodbye for now.